Oh, hello, I'm on a video from Broskies and Bros guys. I'm on a video from my nation. I believe tomorrow is when two of my toys will be coming. So, yes, that's tomorrow. However, today I have a little something for all of you. Been patient waiting for however long it's gonna take for HAVA to actually freaking get here. Oh, don't worry. The patient shall be rewarded. And the first little reward I have for you guys is a little something I like to call What if Naruto was 1170? Fans of Poppy Playtime may recognize it better as Experiment 1170, or recognized even better than that as Huggy Wuggy. So basically, another phrase for what if Naruto was Huggy Wuggy. I wanted to be, I guess you could call it artsy. Anyways, here's how I'm gonna set the story. It's gonna be way back in ninja history. This is gonna be around the time where Hashirama had finally believed he had killed Madara. Unknown to him, Madara had used Izanagi in order to escape death. However, he was still drained as all fuck. So, he had basically had to hobble over somewhere where Hashirama would not notice him, and also somewhere where basically he wouldn't end up dying again, because then both of his eyes would be gone. Because that's kind of how Izanagi works. So basically right now, Madara only has one fucking eye. At least only one working one. Because of, yet again, how Izanagi works. In order to escape death, he kinda had to lose one of his eyes, or at least lose the sight in it. At least that's how I know Izanagi works. That's how I know Izanagi to work. So Madara basically had to hobble on over, making as little noise as possible, so that Hashirama, hobble over somewhere, but he hears something. Sounds like two grown men arguing over something. Then he sees this giant building, which seems way too high tech for the era in which their battle, a little battle of him and Hashirama taking place. Seems way too high tech. Unless some unknown place had been, improving a lot faster than all the other villages. And in doing so, they had really high-tech shit. Madara was like, that has to be the, conclusion to this. There's no other way. And whenever he sees the sign, finally able to lift his head up without making too much noise. He sees Playtime Co. Madara is like, I have to be freaking dead, actually dead. It's like, Izanagi failed, I'm freaking dead. The reason why he says is like saying this in his mind is because he, like, to him, there's no way that this could be here, like, because it just seems too freaking, like, un-Shinobi like. But then he just listens just a little bit more to what exactly is being heard from the inside of the building. This Playtime Co. Something about all of the experiments so far have failed. 1170 is a no-go. Just accept it, Elliot. This is Fubar. Basically, this person telling this Elliot person that whatever this 1170 is, experiment 1170, is impossible, it will never work. And Madara, just deciding to be a cheeky bitch, just decides to enter through one of like these ventilation shafts on like the side of the building, entering the factory. Little sly devil that he is, decides to just, do that. Pull that shit. And so he's just moving about the vents until one of them caves in under his weight. And the people who were talking, which Madara knows to be Elliot, or at least named Elliot, they both see him, as basically the vent that caved in was like 5 feet away from them whenever they were talking, like in the same room. And Madara, just inside his head, is like, fuck me. Because, like, dude is, like, he was barely able to even get into the vent. And so that probably hurt a lot whenever he impacted the freaking cold, hard ground. Like, floor of, like, the freaking factory. So, yeah, he can barely move. And, well, this person is just like, waving this dude off, and it's like, no matter how FUBAR you believe 1170 to be, I will not give up. If there was but a sliver of hope for me to bring smiles into the children of the world, I will do it. Whatever needs to be done will be done. You can call me a madman all you want, but this company is the most important thing to me ever since her death. And someone like you could never understand that. However, you, Mr. Hiding in the Vents, and Madara is just like, what the fuck are you talking about me? Like, he can't actually say that. He doesn't have enough energy to say that, but he's just like thinking that. Are you talking about me? Fuck, he is talking about me. He just picks up Madara like a sack of potatoes. Elliot does. And just lops him on a freaking table. And Madara notes that the table feels wet. and a little bit cracked. This is like shit has been done before. Like, wait, is this table like a part of something to do with this 1170 shit? And almost as if Elliot can read Madara's fucking mind. He's just like, I bet you're wondering. And yes, this does have a lot to do with 1170. Whoever you are. Let me tell you this, stranger. But first of all, get the fuck out of my sight. He's like telling the other guy that. He's like, it's your dying breath, crazy. Elliot, I'm done working for you. And I'm done working for this damn company. Here, my resignation. I never want to see you again. Just storms out there like he just owns the damn place. And then Elliot just looks at Madara and is like, ooh, looks like somebody might have lost an eye. And Madara is literally like trying to halfway explain the actual problem with his other eye. And surprising to Madara, this guy actually understands. He's the Nagi. So you're a shinobi. Those are quite rare where we are. You must not have noticed how far you traveled, buddy. And Madara's like, wait, did I really travel that far? I could barely freaking breathe. And almost as if he's doing it again, like reading his mind again, he's like, you must not have noticed at all how far you've made it just on your stomach. Just by crawling, you've managed to go really far. You must have really iron will. That will be perfect for 1170. And then Madara just starts panicking, but he's like, wait, what the fuck? He's connecting the dots. Yeah, he's starting to connect the dots, and for once in Madara's life in a long time, he's scared. Because he can't move at all. And this man seems to be able to read his mind like a fucking book. And it's just like, it's you, my dear friend. I am Elliot Ludwig, the founder of Playtime Co. There's a toy I've been wanting to make. Be able to hug a child forever. Huggy Wuggy. Though he could also be very useful for security purposes. Someone with a will like yours would be perfect for 1170. Codenamed Huggy Wuggy. And considering how exhausted Madara is, he cannot feel a single thing that's being done to him as Elliot is just running his mouth. However, dude just does end up eventually conking out. So he finally did fall asleep. Well, I guess now then, the finishing touches. And then just not too long later, Madara can feel an extreme amount of pain and just like Mm, what was that? And you can just hear a voice. He swears it sounds so familiar. It's just like, welcome back to your regular eyesight, old friend. I managed to fix that. It was hella difficult, but it was fixable. And look what you are now. And you grew some feet, too. Now, with all the protocols I put in, you should be able to follow orders. Now just input this in. And now, as if Madara can't even, control his own body movements, he's just forced to walk on to some sort of placement thing. And he sees some sort of thing that says Huggy Wuggy above it, and then his hand is just in this position to make it look like he's holding it up. And then he finally realized what he actually looks like in the reflection of a glass window that's a little bit away. And he Elliot can't see it, but Madara can definitely recognize his own fear of what he's become. And considering what, Elliot said about the distance in between, any shinobi place and this place, oh boy. And basically, seeing as the predicament that Madara is in, no Ghost of the Uchiha bullshit, so no Obito bullshit. Becoming a masked man, none of that bullshit. So Naruto, well, he would still become the Jinchuriki. Because, the whole complications with birth because of all, female Jinchuriki. Minato, try as he might, couldn't really, finish the sealing process properly, so the Nine Tails ends up spilling out into Naruto regardless. So now Minato has to do a second work of seals onto Naruto. Minato has to do that onto Naruto. So regardless, he had to do it anyways. However, because of just how much chakra that was used, Minato ends up falling up dead because of chakra exhaustion. And because of all the shit that had happened with all of the, separation of the freaking Biju from the Jinchuriki, Kushina's dead. So basically, Harrison takes up the role of the person who's supposed to raise him. But Naruto still ends up becoming a troublemaker. However, despite all that, kids are gonna do what kids are gonna do. And, he's gonna have a very rambunctious, however I say that freaking word, kind of spirit. And that's gonna lead him outside the village one random ass day. And he's actually gonna be kind of scared because he's never been outside the village before. And even though Hiruzen does dispatch Anbu to try to find Naruto, they can't really seem to be able to do it. Because Naruto, ends up walking upon something. And he thinks it's freaking awesome. Because, well, all the fun colors. And so, with all of his might, he barely manages to open the doors to the place. And so something, a little light, a little beepy thing deep inside the head of this giant ass plush thing that Naruto sees. Something in its headlight goes off like crazy. And Madara wakes up. It's like, I'm still like this. I couldn't just be killed already due to lack of any sort of nutrition. Why couldn't I just die already? Why couldn't I just be dead already? Why do I have to keep on suffering like this? Something keep on, yep. Wait, who is that child? And seeing Naruto, cause he actually is looking down at Huggy Wuggy, that's what Madara's doing right now. He sees, Naruto, and Naruto's like, whoa, it can move its head? That's so cool. And Naruto accidentally presses the button that, sings the Huggy Wuggy song. And so now, your name's Huggy Wuggy? That's awesome! And Naruto's really curious. But whenever he gets really close to, Madara as Huggy Wuggy, he ends up hearing something come out from the fur, but just barely. 1170. But just as a gasp. 1170. Experiment 1170. That is what I am. That is what I have become. And Naruto just pressed his hand towards the little plush doll, actually very tall plush doll. And, because those Uzumaki, they have all sorts of frickin' abilities. And something Naruto discovers right as soon as he touches the giant-ass plush doll, they just now figure it out, has like a shit ton of names, apparently. He can sense a different thing inside of it. He actually gets a visualization. And Naruto, Hiruzen has actually taken Naruto to see the Valley of the End before. He actually has done that. And so he knows what Madara kind of looks like. Whenever he sees kind of like a chakra outline of Madara within the giant-ass plush doll, Naruto can kind of draw conclusions all towards a bunch of big thing that kind of scares him, but also kind of, intrigues him. He kind of gets drawn into his mind. And there, for the first time ever, he meets the Ninetales. And the Ninetales screaming about, how Madara subjugated him to fight Hashirama. And how later on, Hashirama wasn't all that better either. And, well, because of just some wind current going to and fro, the doors to the factory end up closing and not moving. It's almost like some sort of rust picked up and now they're shut completely. Like melded together through the rust. So now Naruto realizes he is not going to be able to get out of the factory. But then he visualizes deeper, and though we can still kind of hear the fox yelling, the more he visualizes deeper, and deeper, the less of it and more something else. A person. Madara Uchiha himself. Or at least what's left of him. Deep inside the giant plush Huggy. And then there's this compartment. Something to do with security. And it's blaring like crazy. And Madara's leave while you still can. And before he can finish his sentence, he sees that the doors have basically rusted shut. And so, basically, Madara believes himself to have no other choice but to chase Naruto down and kill him. Because of the whole security thing. However, Naruto comes up with an alternative. He looks really big and strong, despite the fact that he also looks like a freaking giant-ass plush toy. He also looks very big and strong. And considering what Hiruzen said about Madara, the big clash that, first Hokage and Madara had, he didn't just, decide to reveal one side of the story. He also told Naruto about, how strong Madara was. Give and take. So, Naruto knows a decent bit. And so, before Madara can do anything hasty or rash, Naruto is like, I think I have a better idea. You might not like this, but well, Naruto does realize that Madara's flesh seems to have gotten weak. And so if there's any blood in there, well, Naruto's just ooh, that was worse than I thought it was going to be. Much worse. Sorry, buddy. And he just decides to draw a very odd-looking ceiling array on the inside of Huggy Wuggy. And the more the ceiling array is drawn, the more Madara's subconscious, or whatever of him, seems to just fade away. And, as this is happening, Madara realizes what's going on. He's being transferred to whatever version of the Pure Lands awaits him. And, it's like, thanks. Thank you. But Naruto really doesn't care. He's just finishing everything. And it's just last little thing. And just puts his hand on it. Boom. Summoning Jutsu. Whoosh. And now, all of a sudden, instead of Madara, it's Naruto. But instead of suffering for all of eternity, Naruto feels something different. He feels powerful. As to where this, whatever this is, was torturing Madara inside, Naruto seems to have reworked it to where it's actually gone to his benefit. Of whatever kind of benefit you can believe this to be. Like literally Naruto turning himself into 1170. And well, talking about how this was supposed to be so big and strong before, Naruto just decides to F whatever this blaring shit is. Basically, right up, like taps himself on the back of the head, causing the whatever's blaring to just shut up. And it's like, thank the Lord for silence. And then he just decides to go buck wild and run at the freaking doors and slam right through them, breaking it open. Not giving a shit on whatever he just now released. He just wants to get back to the village. He even actually manages to alter the ceiling right to where he can actually shrink in size, so that everyone isn't terrified. I mean, he still doesn't actually look like your average Joe, but I mean, at least he doesn't look like freaking Bigfoot reincarnate. If he like fused with the Cookie Monster. And what do you know? It does indeed seem that, Huggy Wuggy, or 1170, whatever you decide to call him, actually could talk. He just, didn't feel like it. Because Naruto can talk through 1170 slash Huggy Wuggy's, freaking voice. It sounds weird at first, but Naruto begins to become used to it. Quite easily, actually. Quite fast. Because, whenever you're frolicking through the freaking forests of Konoha, continuously altering your size, seeing what fits best with your childlike body that you had before, what would fit best, whenever you're doing that all the time, every time, I guess whatever I was trying to say. And eventually he does get to Konoha. Izuma and Katetsu freak the fuck out. Because as he's approaching the gates, he is currently, cycling through different sizes and shapes. Until he finally finds something that sits right with him. Just a slightly smaller version of what he was originally. So just a little bit taller than his childlike body. But having all the Huggy Wuggy attributes all the same. Huggy Wuggy / Experiment 1170. And so, as you could imagine, Hiruzen is very skeptical whenever, in a slightly altered voice, Naruto tries to convince him that it's him. That is until he basically just, traces the seal he made inside of himself, to see if that convinces him. And whenever he sees, whenever Hiruzen sees the seal, he's like, my boy, you just made the most holy... Hiruzen has to actually get the brain fog out. Get all the cobwebs out, Uzushio, the first ever Uzushio Kage, he made that seal himself before the demise of, the Whirlpool Land. This is like the most cherished seal of all of Uzushio, and Naruto just makes it on the fly while he's inside of whatever the fuck he was before. Like, he tries to describe it to Hiruzen as they're going to his office. Not too loudly as to not, inform people who don't really need to know or shouldn't know. But, all the time Hiruzen is just thinking in the back of his mind, if Naruto could do that just off the fly, he is a seal master freaking genius, like MacGyver of gods. And, well, it actually does give Hiruzen the idea to, graduate Naruto to Genin early. But Naruto says he wants to, earn it. And, Hiruzen's like, but the way you are now, do you really think, that people are going to accept you any more than they were going to do previously? And Naruto is actually from the guy who was in there before me, I've actually figured out a lot of stuff that you guys were holding back from me. Come on, Naruto, don't be mad at Gigi. Don't be mad at Gigi. Don't be mad at Gigi. And, Hiruzen's like, what did he figure out? And Naruto's just like, everything, Gigi. Everything. And Hiruzen is just like, who the fuck was in there previously then? Well, from the looks of him, whatever was left of him, Madara Uchiha. And Hiruzen is shooken to his core. He's like, the fuck? But from the look that Naruto gives him, or at least what has become Naruto now gives him, tells him that you ain't lying. Before he was in there, Madara was in there. And then, out of nowhere, Naruto just asks Hiruzen if he wants a hug. And Hiruzen doesn't really see that much, bad in it. So he just goes to hug, and it's just like, he did not expect it, but Naruto's hugs have seemed to have become really freaking painful. And upon realizing this, Naruto is just like, oops, sorry. I just gotta watch my own strength. And Hiruzen is just thinking inside, like, yeah, definitely watch your own fucking strength. And while things would go mostly as in canon, however, the takedown of Mizuki, and figuring out that he's a traitor, goes differently because he basically just gets freaking jump scared. As soon as basically Mizuki tries to be like that, tries to be the freaking asshole, just gets jump scared. And automatically, as soon as he jump scares him, Naruto's like, why do I feel hungry all of a sudden? And not for Ichiraku ramen, I feel weird. Iruka sensei, I feel weird. And then all of a sudden he just starts eating Mizuki, and then like Iruka has to knock Naruto out. Apparently, whatever that jump scare attack is, makes Naruto hungry on whoever he does it to. As in, makes him want to cannibalize them. That is, if the person he does it to is human. At all. Hell, they might not even need to be human. It could be an animal. Like a freaking Nenkin from the freaking clan of... Oh, no. I guess Kiba should be very far away from Naruto at all times. Because if Akamaru ever... Oh god, Kiba would lose his dear puppy, that would be terrible. That would be super terrible. The entire freaking Inuzuka clan would be pissed at Naruto. And also terrified of him. Basically knowing that this one crazy freaking jump scare attack that he has in his pocket out of nowhere makes him want to eat whoever he jump scares. Like, right after he does it. And he was barely able to restrain himself at all. Right before he just started to nom Mizuki. Luckily, Iruka was there to freaking chop him on the neck. But, whoever else might not be so lucky the next time. Then again, they do remember, oh yeah, he's going to be on a team. Which means Jonin Sensei, they could do it. I mean, like, it's not like it that bad to where they couldn't, actually do it before it got bad. Enter freaking whoever is their sensei. Well, regardless of it, like Naruto's newfound, nom jutsu. Regardless of any of that, Kakashi still considers Naruto, his sensei's son. So it still want to be, teacher. And, well, Sasuke has a Sharingan, Kakashi has a Sharingan. They're there. However, Sakura said some very mean things. And they were also incredibly out of context. Oh, but that wasn't the end of it. Apparently, Naruto did pull off a jump scare jutsu thingy, but it didn't hit like the other times whenever he would do it. It would actually make physical contact, but it wasn't able to do it with Sakura because she jumped the frick away, putting some distance, and then just ran away. So, Sakura had been eaten. However, some people had also said some stuff, behind the scenes. It's like, it's just the demon revealing their true colors. And they almost hurt our dear Sakura. And just Naruto turning around to see, oh, that's Sakura's fucking parents. And, one of them is on the civilian fucking council. They hate him. And Naruto overnight is just trying to sleep, but he can't. Just the boiling rage at what they said about him is just... Ooh, he is pissed off. He is livid. So, Hiruzen wisely does not put Sakura on Team 7. Because that could escalate really badly, concerning that Sakura has a crush on Sasuke, and yeah, that would end very badly. Should Kakashi not be fast enough? Because Hiruzen has realized that Naruto, with his jump scare jutsu thingy, gains a hell of a lot of speed whenever doing it. Speed that would make most Chonin look like freaking academy students. So yeah, very wise not to do that. However, people are actually questioning his insanity what he does pick Naruto to, the final team member. Hinata Hyuga. Hiyashi almost flips a freaking table whenever he hears about this. But Hinata doesn't give a shit. She just is glad to be with her Naruto-kun. Even though he may be a blue furry and has teeth on teeth, and has multiple times nom-nommed on people, or at least tried to. He was successful that one time on Mizuki. And so we at least have our team here. Team Kakashi / Team 7, comprised of Kakashi as their sensei, Hinata Hyuga, Sasuke Uchiha, and Naruto, who has now become Experiment 1170 / Huggy Wuggy. And in the words of Jacksepticeye, YOLO bitches!